Alright, hello everyone. Welcome back to a brand new price action study. We're really getting ahead of the curve here, but let's just go ahead and dive into this. Oh yeah, first thing, 8:30 unemployment claims and 2 p.m. Fed Chair Powell speaks. So what are we currently seeing price do? A lot of these ideas are obviously the same, especially on the monthly, but here's the current idea for the monthly. Alright, and just also focusing on institutional order structure. So from a consolidation, we know the only thing we're going to see is an expansion. So what we're currently seeing overall, okay, we had this consolidation right here, which created these relative equal lows. Then we saw an expansion. Then we saw a reversal, being that it went for these relative equal lows. All right, and it went just below them to take those sell stops. So this would have been the false breakout or turtle soup. But additionally, this is a consolidation. So here we have the last up close candle, or last down close candles high, sorry, before that move, which is the current order block that price gravitated away from. And why did it gravitate away from that? Because we were seeing a retracement into that previous range to fill in a liquidity void, which is what we are currently doing right now. And now, with that displacement, after we traded back to that, we are now seeing, price rebalance this previous price leg that was created over the span of the last 3 months. It is no different, of course, for ES. So now let's go to our lower time frames. Okay. And so here we are, same thing, or same, context here on the weekly. All right. Just looking at, where market structure has been. So the first thing was when we had this down expansion taking out these lows here on the weekly chart. Okay, we then saw a return to that order block. From that order block, okay, we saw price gravitate lower, create a relative equal low in correlation with these one, and then take those out as well. So those old lows taken out, and then sell side taken, and then we see a move back to the upside. And currently what we're seeing is price trade to that order block. Now when we get into a lower time frame, it's more refined, but for now the idea is we are currently expecting the overall market bias is bearish, but we're currently expecting on lower time frames prices to trade higher. All right. And there's a few things we'll go over again or elaborate on, but it's a little bit different right now for ES. We're currently above these relative equal highs, and we haven't yet traded to that order block just yet. As we see here, we are currently in that order block right now. And you can see that we have not closed above the 50% mark of that, which is what we would expect. So in other words, for now, the market has respected that order block on the weekly chart. So again, overall, on lower time frames, expecting higher prices. Here on this time frame, it's very obvious that there's large displacement, and we're expecting lower prices on both. Okay, let's go now to a daily chart. Go to the higher time frame. Okay, let's talk about it now on the daily chart. So what am I looking at here? So we're looking at about the last 10 days of price action rebalancing this leg. And again, this leg was a reversal. We traded below these relative equal lows, or this liquidity pool, and now we're seeing it reverse, and it's reversing into a liquidity void. But additionally here, one thing I noticed is for this order block, which is the last up close before the down move, it's violated here, and we did trade to that. So I was wondering, well, why is price not respecting that? And from here it would be high resistance, as we have filled or rebalanced this price run at least. but the entire move has not been rebalanced. And so the real order block here is this consolidation. This is the last up close, which is also this range here, okay, which we will be expecting price to trade to. So we have three things. We have an order block paired with a liquidity void, okay, paired with these relative equal highs, paired with a underlying bias. So ultimately, to simplify that on the daily, I'm currently expecting us to draw towards those levels of buy side. Now, there's something we'll talk about here in just a moment as well, but let's first start with ES. So for ES, you see something actually very different. This is the consolidation right here before we saw that move lower, all right, to that weekly order block, and then we saw a reaction off that. Now, this is the order block, and it was activated when it was violated right here, and we're currently seeing price now trade to that, or trade within that order block. Okay, but for this as well, it's still above the 50% mark. So I look back here, and this is actually the last up close candle right here. And for that, we have not traded above the mean threshold here, but we still want to note the fact that this is the most recent untested high. These lows have been tested. This, of course, is untested low, but we're obviously pricing into a premium right now. So let's just summarize that. What we're expecting here on the daily is the same thing. We're expecting price to reach for this level of buy side currently, and we're expecting it to trade to these relative equal highs as well as this void. Okay, so let's go down to the 4 hour now and refine the ideas even more and just see what's going on. Okay, so here on the 4 hour, we're looking at about this week's range. Here's the 6th right here. So pretty much this week we've been consolidating all week. Monday's price action, we had some aggressive movement on Tuesday, and then we continued consolidating. Today on the S&P, we traded below the relative equal lows that were created at the beginning of the week and are now trading into a liquidity void in the form of a busy. But when we go here to NQ, give it a second to load, okay, we can see it's the opposite, in that NQ has shown weakness, and weakness that is to our old highs here and as well to this here. And so the reason I am bringing this up is because it confirms two things for me. So first, I'm looking at these relative equal highs as a level of buy side, and that's been respected here, but all these retail traders are seeing this currently as support or resistance, as in this is the ceiling of price. We can see price respecting this. They'll draw out a line and say, oh yeah, now it's going lower, so this is going to get willing participants in the form of sellers into the market, or people who are going to chase price thinking it's going lower. When we're here on the 4 hour, at least for the NASDAQ, why is it going lower? Well, we look no further than the consolidation before this expansion move. We know that overall we're expecting higher prices. We're not going to pick highs or anything until we see an indication of otherwise. But the last down close candle before the up move would be right here, or you could even do right here. This is the last one. Trades up, trades back a little lower, and continues. So we'll just say this is the order block right here, marked by this white line. We trade right to that order block, and what I'm anticipating for tomorrow is for price to gravitate more towards our buy side objective. Okay. Now, for this, it's a little bit different, but we have two things to keep in mind for the S&P, which is first that we are currently trading below relative equal lows. So this could be a false breakout. Additionally, we have a liquidity void here, and we also have an order block here. So we ultimately know that this is showing accumulation, therefore accumulating more long positions below these relative equal lows or below retail stops. All right, they're looking to pair their orders below these lows, and that's what we're seeing currently on here. So to summarize what I'm saying on this, at least for the 4 hour, for the NQ, it's very likely that we continue to buy side. Right now, I don't know how low this will want to dig. I know we are below these relative equal lows. We'll see if price wants to, trade to this void or trade to this order block before continuing higher, which is a possibility. But it's the same expectation of overall expecting price to move towards this liquidity void back here, which is more relevant on a higher time frame, as well as this untested high here, this untested high here, and now this untested high that we're creating here. So we'll go on to the last one, the hourly, and we'll also look at the weekly range. And we'll look at one additional thing too. But here we are. So we can see that since Monday, delineated by this red line here, consolidation, consolidation, consolidation. Today, break lower, take sell stops. We trade to about the halfway mark of that range, and now we're consolidating. That's why, again, for S&P, we do have this order block here, which was validated with that move to the upside. That would be, for now, the lowest I'm expecting it to trade. Of course, for NQ, we have more clean price action, if you will. The last down close candle before the up move, okay, that down close candle's high violated it to the upside. We're now retrading towards that. And again, we have multiple reasons to be expecting price go higher, including our analysis with interest rates and the interest rate triad. All right. So, ultimately, to summarize everything again, just one last time, on a higher time frame, such as the monthly and weekly, we are overall expecting prices to go lower. When we refine that to a daily, we see price currently seeking two different things, which is a liquidity pool and liquidity void. And when we refine that on lower time frames, we're just seeing price trade to an order block or trade below relative equal lows before it continues higher. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If anyone is watching it, probably not, but yeah, have a great night.